Hey guys, Raven Knight here. So before we get started, here's a quick update. I have an X page now, or Twitter, or whatever you want to call it. After Havoc revealed to me that For Honor tends to post their announcements there first, I figured it was high time I got myself an X page so I could get announcements quicker and maybe not be the last content creator to know about updates and the like. So feel free to follow me there if you want, though I don't know how active I'll be on it, but whatever. Having gotten this page, I decided to follow For Honor's page, and boy did I get some juicy news. We have a June roadmap and a nice teaser for the new season, so let's talk briefly about both. We'll start with the season teaser. Now, I want you guys to take a look at this image. Check this out. The image is gorgeous, first of all. I absolutely love the contrasting hues of the pink of the sakura blossoms and the dark backdrop of the samurai city. The red bridge adds a haunting atmosphere, and I adore the design of the new hero skin. And let's all agree that's what this is. It's confirmed in the roadmap, which we'll be talking about and looking at shortly. And the new season will be called the Muramasa Blade. Pretty badass, right? So, first off, I think the big question people are asking is this. That hero skin. Is it Kensei? Or is it Orochi? Now, Havoc already released a video proving that it was Orochi, but to be honest, I kind of knew it just from the design of the sword alone. The tsuka, or handle of the sword, is far too short to be a nodachi. Nodachi swords, like the kind Kensei use, have very long handles that allow the holder to have one hand, usually the right hand, closest to the blade, with the other hand closer to the kashira, or butt cap. The idea was to use that posture for long swipes or swinging motions. However, a katana has a shorter handle, where the hands would touch closer together, allowing more dexterity with the sword. Plus, comparing the sword next to the samurai with the other swords around them littered on the bridge like that, all of a similar size and scale, so I think that we can safely assume all are katana. For this reason, I think it's pretty easy to assume that this is an Orochi hero skin. Secondly, I'm sure you're wondering, what is a Muramasa blade? What on earth is that? This is a good question, so let's talk about it. Muramasa blades are actually real swords in history. In the Muromachi period, around the 14th century, there was a particular bladesmith in Japan named Muramasa Sengo. He was very well regarded as a crafter of swords, with blades infamous for their sharpness, cutting power, and lethality. However, Muramasa's swords have a sort of taboo to them, which grew in prominence during the Edo period. See, it was believed that Muramasa Sengo was mad, or perhaps corrupted by demons, and legend had it that some of his mad demonic influence was poured into the swords that he crafted. As such, the swords of Muramasa are believed to be cursed swords and will bring bloodshed wherever they go. The swords would slay enemies and innocents alike, and in time would bring disaster and death to the one who held them. This was popularized thanks to the Tokugawa family, who would go on to found the Tokugawa shogunate. You see, Tokugawa Ieyasu, the founder of the shogunates, grandfather and son were both killed by Muramasa blades, and Ieyasu himself carried a Muramasa blade. Many believed Ieyasu to be pretty bold and brave to dare stand against the curse of Muramasa swords, especially considering what became of his grandfather and grandson. In fact, many Tokugawa retainers and samurai died at the hands of these blades, thus leading to the taboo during the Edo period that to carry a Muramasa blade was a sign of either boldness or straight up defiance. But it should be noted that this superstition about the blades has no bearing on reality. The truth of the matter is that because Muramasa swords were so sharp and effective, they were quite popular in the land of Mikawa, where Tokugawa ruled from, and as a result, most of the samurai in that region carried Muramasa swords anyway, meaning they were far more likely to die by them or kill using them. Thus, new light is shed on the curse. It's not that the Muramasa swords are particularly more cursed than any other sword, it's just that when you're always surrounded by the swords and always using the swords, the odds are pretty good that they will play a hand in either your death or the death of someone else in your area. But that doesn't mean the cursed swords aren't popularized. Yeah, let's face it, guys, when it comes to superstitions and making things that are kind of mystic or mythical in Japan, like rise to the top, leave it to anime and Japanese pop culture to push that. Anime of today tends to popularize and push the idea of cursed blades. My personal favorite example of this being in the anime One Piece. When Roronoa Zoro is searching for a new sword to replace his broken ones, he discovers a sword that, from the moment he touched it, he could tell was cursed.
The sword's cursed.
How do you know?
Just do.
The sword shop owner explains that this particular sword was Kitetsu III, one of the Kitetsu swords, which were all cursed and were said to bring horrible death or misfortune to those who wielded them, despite their superior sharpness and high quality.
The Kitetsu swords are superior in all respects, but they've been cursed since their beginnings. You have to believe me. There are stories from all over of master swordsmen who have met their death after taking up a Kitetsu sword. Nobody is stupid enough to even touch them these days. And you'll fall to its curse as well if you decide to take it.
So as you can see, Japan kind of likes to push this whole idea of a cursed blade, and there's no question that Kitetsu and all other cursed blades like that you see in anime usually have some kind of founding or inspiration from Muramasa himself. Now, I'm not a fan of the series myself, I've never watched much of it, but I think I remember in the Fate Stay series there was actually a character named Muramasa Sengo, but I could be misremembering. I don't watch the show, don't come after me on that. Muramasa's name stands alongside the other popular swordsmith, Goro Masamune. In fact, these two swordsmiths were so legendary that despite them living in two different eras, Muramasa living in the Muromachi era and Masamune living in the Kamakura period, there are still legends and fables about these two guys meeting. One of my favorites is a story where Masamune and Muramasa meet each other to have a contest of sword crafting. Both would craft their finest swords and return to the riverbank to test them. After the two made their finest swords, the two masters decided they would test the blades on the river itself. Muramasa stuck his blade into the water, and anything that came near it was cut. Fish, frogs, leaves, twigs, even rocks in the water itself were all cut as they came close to the sword. But when Masamune stuck his sword in, nothing was cut. Water moved harmlessly past it, as did fish, frogs, twigs, and leaves. Muramasa claimed that he must have been the winner, for Masamune had failed to cut anything. But a Buddhist monk who had been watching the contest interjected, saying that Masamune had actually won. See, though Muramasa's blade was definitely sharp, it was unquestionably evil, for it cut everything in its way regardless of the maker's will. Such a sword was definitely cursed, for it cuts indiscriminately. But Masamune's sword only cuts that which its master wishes to cut, and as such, was even capable of cutting evil itself. And to prove it, he took Masamune's sword and struck Muramasa's, and the evil blade was cut in half. Further adding to the idea that Muramasa himself and the blades he creates were cursed or evil, and Masamune's were just of a higher tier, okay? And we can talk more about Masamune another time, including the famous sword, the Honjo Masamune, which is still talked about in popular fiction today. Now, of course, these stories are all fictional and legend only, but it's still a testament to just how awesome this title is to me. I mean, look at the sword that's next to the samurai here and notice the demonic patterns on it. My first thought was the demon dagger from Maiko's season. I even speculated that the Orochi hero skin could be the younger brother of Maiko, carrying on his sister's work. However, that depends on the era. Is this Orochi from the past when Maiko was active? Or is he a current warrior of Heathmoor? That's the big question. Also, is the sword he's using a Muramasa sword, and if so, is he a descendant or student of Muramasa himself? I can't wait to hear his lore. There's so much you could take away from this, and honestly, despite me narrowing down some things about this, like what he is, he's definitely an Orochi, and the tie into the Muramasa blades, that kind of thing, I don't know anything about what this guy's lore could be, so I'm super excited. Now, actually, many have speculated that this hero could be based on the famous Minamoto no Yoshitsune, a famous samurai and swordsman and leader of the Minamoto clan from the late Heian to early Kamakura period, and I do think that's a decent theory, but I better stop there. I'm going way too far into this. I'll save that for another video. I've gotten off the rails here, haven't I? I need to get back on track. Okay, get back to the teaser stuff. Okay, so we know that the samurai skin is an Orochi, and he's somehow related to the legendary Muramasa blades of history. Okay, it makes me wonder, though, what kind of background and lore this guy has. What is he after? What does he seek? Only time will tell, and we'll find all that out later on this month, which leads me to the June roadmap. Okay, finally we're getting to this. Here it is. Normally I would talk about this with the Warriors Den, but come on guys, it's out, so let's just see what's coming. Coming up on the 6th, we have the Hitakiri Hero Fest, as well as a new arcade quest. The day after is a new faction challenge called Honorable Slayer, and on the 11th, that's the real kicker, the Warriors Den reveal of the new season. Now normally they would do it on the Thursday before the big reveal, so it would actually be the 6th normally, but because of Ubisoft Forward, they're going to be teasing the trailer at Ubisoft Forward, and then on Tuesday the 11th, they will be releasing the Warrior's Den for us all to watch. And you know I'll be there. I'll be watching it without a doubt. Look forward to it. Now, 2 days after that, on the 13th, the new season begins, and the Samurai will be eating well for a while. Let's keep going. After that, we have what appear to be 3 rounds of event orders, with round 1 starting on the 14th, round 2 on the 21st, and the 3rd round on the 28th. I'm sure this confirms some kind of event game mode or something, so I'll be interested to see what that's all about. On the 27th, we also are getting an XP Fest, so I'm sure that'll be the day for y'all to jump on and grind. So lots of good stuff going on here. I won't go into too much detail on all of it because there's just too much going on. So just to put it bluntly, guys, just to put it as bluntly as I can, a lot is happening. And I'm super excited for all of it. June is going to be an awesome month for Honor. I know I talked a great deal about the Muramasa Blade history and legend in this video, as well as the hero skins, but let's be honest, I'll likely talk more about it once the hero skin is revealed and we know more about what's coming. Consider this me getting hyped and maybe jumping ahead of things a little bit. I'm just so excited for what's on the way, guys. While I really did enjoy this season with the Knights, and let's face it, the Knights really ate good this season. We had a great season for the Knights, and I loved it. But despite that, I'm ready for the next season. I'm ready to see the Samurai get some love. It's going to be phenomenal. And before anyone asks, is the new hero coming on the 13th? No, he is not. The new hero will be coming with the midway point, the title update 2 of Season 2. So it's not here yet. Right now we're just getting the hero skin. There you go. I've answered that. That's all I got for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a longer one than normal, but I hope you guys still enjoyed. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Take care.